Greetings. So, as many of you are aware, a couple of weeks ago we had our church's Charge Conference. And as part of the Charge Conference each year, as pastor, I write a report to the Charge Conference. Sometimes this report gets read in Charge Conference, other times it's just a part of the overall written report packet. And I thought, with so much that has gone on this year in our church, and just how we have adapted and really thrived during a lot of this, I thought it would be appropriate to maybe share with you this Charge Conference report. It's kind of a state of the church address, if you would. And so I want to share with you now what I shared a couple of weeks ago in our Charge Conference report. So, like most churches, we have faced a series of challenges this year, unparalleled in most of our lifetimes. Not since the Second World War have the lives of so many in our church and community had their lives disrupted in such a short period as we have seen with the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. You know, at the outset of 2020, churches across the country and around the world were engaged in sermon series and initiatives tied to things such as 2020 vision, New Year, New Vision, and the like. We were focused on our For Their Future capital campaign and celebrating the faithfulness of this church. And with the generosity of so many in early March, we celebrated that we had gifts and pledges totaling over $1 million towards renovating the old church building and transforming it into a ministry center designed to create space for connecting with Christ. You know, for over 40 years, a project to renovate the old church building had been discussed and dreamed about. And in March, as the initial fundraising efforts were being completed and final approval sought, the dream was about to become a reality. And then the pandemic hit. What we thought might be a short disruption of a few weeks soon became a month, and then several months. And it would be 3 months before we resumed in person worship, and when we did, it was quite different to say the least. In the 3 month span, we went from two in person services on Sunday with an average worship attendance of 180 and the desire to eventually live stream or record our services, to now our primary worship setting being an online service with a small number of people worshiping in person. Small groups, church activities, meetings have all shifted on to online venues, though we are slowly beginning to resume some in person gatherings. And what this has revealed is that our church has had to adapt and in most cases has done very well. And while overall attendance is less than the pre-pandemic, giving remains strong. And additionally, in the testament to the faithfulness of our church and our seriousness about creating space so people, young people especially, can connect with Christ, we voted on March 31st to proceed with the Ministry Center project, and now it's well underway. And what we've learned as a church over the past year is that we have the ability to adapt in major ways when we're called upon. And we've also practiced stepping out in faith, especially in uncertain times, to lead into a vision that God has placed before us despite serious challenges. So finally, I continue to be amazed at the way that God is working through us, and I am so excited to be the pastor during this time. Truly, a pastor I serve as a pastor to a community of faith that strives to be a Christ-centered church, a caring community growing deeper in faith, reaching out in love, and making a difference in the lives of neighbors near and far. So I just wanted to share that with you and what I shared in my report. I'd also like to share that part of our report to our Charge Conference paperwork is this idea of a culture of call, where we share the names of individuals in our community that are discerning a calling into ministry. And I'm excited that this Sunday, one of those individuals, Tyler Lee, who is discerning a calling into ministry, is going to offer our message in worship on Sunday. Tyler's a young man who's a student at JBU and is growing in his faith, but also growing in his ability to share and teach. And so we want to give him that opportunity. So I hope you'll join us this Sunday in worship, either in person at 9 o'clock or online at 11 o'clock, and hear this wonderful message that Tyler's going to bring to us. See you then.